Hello and welcome to episode 127 of the Character Unlock podcast. Here with me today, I've got my good friend Brooker.
Hello, buddy.
And my good friend John.
No.
It's all right, he's there, he's just being quiet. We'll keep looping him in, don't worry.
John is currently on an excursion tour of all the dogging areas of North Yorkshire based on the TripAdvisor top 10.
That's not quite what he told me, but maybe he's lying to us. He told me he was going to go down the Thames looking for pornos in bushes. So, I don't know what he's doing. Maybe. Crazy. Right, so...
People still put pornos in bushes. I bet you'll find the ones I threw there when I was a kid.
Well, they're probably still the same ones there, yeah. Since the advent of the internet, it's ruined that old pastime of paying it forward.
Yeah.
Crazy. Oh, good old days. And then Bluetooth came along, obviously, after that, and it just dinner times at school were chaos.
Yes, they were.
Yeah. So news, mate. News jingle. Jingle. What we got? We got the rest of Gamescom that we missed from last time. We picked up a couple of the big stuff anyway already, hadn't we?
Yeah, so I think when we sent the email out, I found a link of like the stuff that was shown at Gamescom, and as I went through this, I was like, yeah, we talked about that, and that. I'm getting yelled at from the IGN website because I've got an ad blocker running. Absolutely kiss my ass. So what do we have? We had Midnight Suns. We talked about Midnight Suns, didn't we?
Well, we can have. There's been a little bit update now
Yeah.
because there was a gameplay trailer released yesterday for that, which was interesting to say the least. Because obviously we pegged it as kind of an XCOM game.
Yeah.
Based on, because it's Firaxis, we just presumed it was going to be an XCOM game, but it turns out, in fact, it's kind of XCOM/card game.
Brilliant.
So, I mean, it looks like an XCOM game in terms of, your structure and setup of your match, but it's a card-based game, which was an interesting choice.
Where does
Could
that
be good?
I was going to say, where does that leave you with playing it? Because obviously it's a Marvel thing, so it's your wheelhouse. But
I'll still buy it. I mean, I don't mind it. I played that Slay the Spire, which I guess could have gave these guys the idea because that kind of worked really well.
Yeah.
Card games not really my forte. I've not got the foresight and the planning and the strategy to play card games, but I'll certainly give it a try. It could make the game extremely flashy, which is good for a comic-based game.
Yeah,
but I mean,
comic book stuff kind of it lends itself to a certain aesthetic that I suppose works for a card game, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, being able to sort of, it just depends how well the game looks. I mean, for me, if it's going to be a card game, you can have a limited number of sort of visual aesthetics to go with on each, your cards, I would expect. I mean, obviously, I guess most characters have their own set of cards or something similar. And so you would expect that, sort of the almost FMV part of the card attack would look absolute dope, but who knows?
Yeah.
They need to sharpen it up a bit for me based on what I've seen. It looked a bit last gen, but other than that, maybe it'll be amazing. Who knows?
When's it due? Comes out March?
Yes, not long. Not long. Short announcement period, really, that one.
Yeah, there was a couple last week or 2 weeks ago with that, wasn't there? So we said this at the time that Saints Row was announced, and that's the same short leash. It's just 6 weeks, 6 months. Comes out in February again, or March. No, end of February. That one comes out. That took some shit as well. Like the last couple of weeks have been fun as a Saints Row fan. Because obviously, like the Saints Row social media guys very quickly backpedaled. They say yes, you can, you have a creator character and all of this lot, and then Well, I mean, a fun place to spend any time at the moment is the Saints Row subreddit, which has just shit all over itself about this reboot. It's some of the funniest shit, and every other hour there's a new post. What do you like in this reboot, and what don't you like in it? What is it about the reboot you don't like? Is it too woke? No, it's just a fucking reboot. Don't judge it on one 12-second gameplay trailer. Play the fucking game. Don't get me wrong, the trailer left me a little bit apprehensive, but you can't prejudge it as much as these people have based on what we've seen.
I mean, there had to be a reboot at some point. Where could they have gone from 4 realistically without?
Yeah, I mean, so 4 destroyed the Earth, and then
exactly.
then Get Out of Hell. One of the endings for Get Out of Hell was Gat convincing God to undo it all. But at the end of the day, you're still left at the point where do you go from there? You've literally destroyed the planet and then brought it back by betting God. It might be time for something new. And it just the discourse on the subreddit is nothing short of hilarious. But yeah, Saints Row, that got announced and got a bit of gameplay, but we talked about that. Did we talk about the Horizon release date last time?
I don't believe so, but that is now February, isn't it?
Yeah, so mid-February 2022.
That
with a bunch of special editions.
yeah, in between this episode 127 and 126 has been an absolute fucking shit show of collector's editions for a lot of games, but Horizon just fucking blew it out of the park with an absolute shit show.
Well, they really shit the bed in a big way, didn't they?
Yeah, it's huge way. So I mean, the standard editions of PS4 and the physical special edition of PS4 didn't get a free upgrade.
No.
But if you bought the digital deluxe version, which cost the same as the special version, you got the free upgrade.
Yep.
And just fucking loads. And then there's got £260 one which has the game, but you've got a £200 one which doesn't have the game but gives you a steelbook.
And it gives you the game, but a digital copy of the game. A steelbook and a digital copy.
Steelbook and a digital.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I didn't think it even had the game. I thought the bigger one was 260 because it had the game.
No, I'd have to dig out the picture I sent you. But the thing I found on Game, I'll see if I can do it. See if I can open up the Game website without completely trashing my bandwidth. There was a
lot of shit with it. That elephant is actually massive as well. I've seen a live sort of
you have
video.
to build it. You have to build it yourself.
It's huge. It's fucking huge, which is great. But I mean, out of all of the enemy types, I would have gone with the elephant. Would probably be the most boring.
Yeah.
For me personally.
I guess so. For that, my only guess for that would be that's the only one they've really shown off.
Yeah,
probably from the new game, so they don't want to spoil anything with their their models. So yeah, so the 200 and can't find a price because they don't want to show me a price because it's that fucking expensive. Oh, okay, it won't show me a price because they've already sold out on Game.
Wow,
brilliant. Will it show me? This is the £230 one. So the £230 one has a steelbook. So full game and steelbook display case, but the game is a digital edition. So it has a steelbook, digital game. The £160 one also has a steelbook and a digital copy of the game. Brilliant. Digital content, yeah, you go, full game for PS4 and PS5. So it looks like if you buy a physical edition that's got extra shit with it, you're not getting a disc with your game. Brilliant.
It's bananas, really. I mean, I bought the special edition physical because that's what I bought last time.
Yeah.
So I wanted the same sort of box and feel to it. Again, that I had last time. But all it comes with is the mini art book
Yeah.
and game and one digital download content for 80 quid.
Yeah.
And I feel a bit gypped on that, if I'm honest, for 80 quid.
Because the 80 quid digital deluxe version on PS5 comes with a shitload of extra
it comes with
DLC.
loads of shit. And that's what I'm kind of thinking, well, that's fucking crap because I've paid 80 quid. Why can't I have more gear?
Yeah.
But, I'm half expecting them to just fucking do a backtrack on that.
Yeah.
But, it comes with a steel book and a mini art book, and that's really all I want anyway.
Yeah. See, I can't remember if we've actually... I know we have talked about this before. I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast. So I pre-ordered Horizon Zero Dawn on PS4 digitally with a load of cheap credit that I've managed to get because I wasn't 100% sure it was going to be any good. So what I didn't want to do was spend a shitload of money on, plastic tat and steelbooks and shit. This was before I was collecting game steelbooks. I still don't really collect game steelbooks. And obviously it turned out to be Horizon Zero Dawn turned out to be one of the best games I'd played in quite a while. And we were talking about it the other day. I was like, well, I don't really want a physical edition of number 2 with a nice steel unless I've got a physical edition of number 1. And then I went looking at the prices just to get it in because I don't want to spend a fortune. I've played it several times. And I'm not spending like 60 quid to just buy a steelbook. Just no. So
okay. I'll sell it for you for 50 then.
No, I'm good. Well, I tell you what. If I sell my medium steelbook for 120 quid, like I saw some prick doing the other day, I will then buy it off you for 50 quid. But I'll probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for my Deathloop to come out. At which point I'll have about 35 quid's worth of credit on game. I will get PSN credit and just add it onto my account, and then I'll pre-order Horizon Forbidden West, like super digital deluxe version.
Yeah, and I'll split that with you, but I can't remember whether we get the DLC or not between us.
I think, yeah, because you can log in, because you have to log into my account to get it.
Yeah.
And I think...
I should be able to download it, or shouldn't I? I can't remember now. We'll have to test it with something that we've got DLC.
Yeah, I've got DLC. I'm sure I've got... We'll talk about it later on. But yeah, I don't expect it to be split, because it's a game that you're already buying it, so that would be daft. And it's a game I'm happy to spend the money on. At the moment, I'm just not happy to spend the money or to necessarily pre-order with them being dicks about it.
Yeah.
So, of course, because they said, we alluded to this as we started this chat, they weren't going to give a free upgrade between PS4 and PS5 versions on physical like they had said they would. Obviously, they found their loophole where they said all launch window games we're going to get a free upgrade from PS4 to PS5, and obviously with the delay that Forbidden West has had, it's moved it 15 months after release, which is no longer launch window. So technically, they still kept their word, but they were just wankers, and they've realised that and kind of backpedaled and said, yeah, if you buy the PS4 version, you can get a free upgrade. Of course you can. Just make sure you keep the disc. And then they've gone, but from here on in, every PS4 to PS5 upgrade is going to cost you a tenner.
That's kind of a bit of a double-edged sword, though, really, because at the moment there's no guarantee that you would even get an upgrade. As in Horizon being a good example, you weren't going to get one. You had no opportunity to get one.
Yeah.
Whereas at least now they're saying you can get one on every release, but it will cost you £10, which is fine. At least there's justification and an official stance to say, yes, you are going to be able to do it, but you will have to pay £10 for the upgrade. Fine. At least we know there's an option to do it.
Yeah. I mean, lucky for like you and me, this isn't an issue, because if it's got a PS5 version, unless there's a real, crazy reason for it, we'll be buying the PS5 versions anyway.
Well, technically, I'm just thinking, in a couple of years, when they're probably just about facing PS4 versions out, we might be able to pick them up cheaper after a couple of months. PS4 rather than PS5 version come out cheaper.
Yeah.
But then again, PS5, PS games don't generally drop all that quick, do they?
No, well, you found that out with Ghost of Tsushima, didn't you?
Well, yeah, until the day after I bought it.
That's all I wait for now. You see, I want to buy a game cheap. I wait till you buy it. The day after, I'll be able to find it cheap, easy.
Yeah. I'm actually going to go and buy the DLC for that. I think it's 25 quid.
But
For
the upgrade to the director's cut. You know what? I've been looking at it and I'm going. I didn't. I remember hating it, but I kind of want to play the director's cut thing. But when it goes dirt cheap, whether it be in 5 weeks or 5 years, when it goes dirt cheap, I'll pick it up and give it another shot.
Mm.
But no, not at the moment. Shall we continue?
Yeah. So we've got Halo, obviously. We all knew Halo was coming out this year, and I think I'm sure it's pegged for December time.
Yeah, like December 18th or something, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's been announced that it's not going to be released with co-op mode, which is obviously a big deal.
That is a big deal.
Because co-op is the backbone of Halo. I mean, I kind of get it. I think story-wise, Master Chief's going to be on his own. So maybe they've just not figured out how they're going to pull it off. But yeah, that was an extremely interesting one for me. Thinking, well, you're going to release this game and not actually have any of the shit, and yet you've postponed it for a year and you're still putting it out without shit in it.
Yeah, because there's no Forge, is there?
No, but that's not unusual. See, that's happened in a couple of the games that have not had Forge Day 1, so that didn't bother me. I don't use that anyway. I mean, I know a lot of people love that shit, but
yeah. But no co-op is interesting. It's a bad showing, I think. Yeah, like you say, they've delayed it a year, and yeah, again, a year and a bit since the Xbox came out. You would expect your delayed game to come out complete. So no co-op, I think, is a big kick in the teeth obviously for those that care, like you, not me. But yeah, that sucks. That sucks a lot.
I mean, I've got plenty of hope for this one anyway, and I know they're not going to let it down. Every single thing that's got an issue with it, I know it's probably going to come out with loads, but every single thing will be fixed because 343, literally, that's their old job.
Yeah.
They've done a stellar job with MCC, to be fair. So, I'm not worried about that one. 15-minute hands-off preview of Elden Ring.
Hands-off preview? No,
yeah,
not interested.
Just a video. I wasn't really overly fussed about it. It looked all right. I don't see why everyone's touching themselves about this one, but
George R.R. Martin, that's why. George R.R. Martin, it's the From Software one as well, isn't it?
It's not even being written by him, though, is it? For the most part, the overview, the overarching story's been written. All the text has been written by some other geezers.
Oh yeah, of course it has. So he basically did the treatment for it and then handed it off to From, and then From have fleshed it out.
Yeah.
But when you get to write, from the writer of Game of Thrones, it sells. And yeah, like you say, lots of people very, very erect over this, and I don't get it. No, I do get it. I just not me. I couldn't be less interested. It's going to sit in that collection of games like Bloodborne and Sekiro and all that. They're not for me. I'm not the target audience for that. I've got no interest in launching my controller at the TV in anger because I keep dying.
I have got that for you to do,
yeah.
But not for myself. Forza Horizon 5, sorry.
That's the Mexico one, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I can't deny it looks fantastic.
It looks gorgeous.
It's still a racing game, isn't it?
It will do the same thing, and I'm pretty sure I said this when I announced it. It will do the same thing that every Forza game has for me since I've owned an Xbox. It will get installed, it will get played for an hour, and I'll give up and I'll move on, and that'll be it. It will be forever on my achievements list, having gotten the achievement for driving 5 miles, and that's it.
Yeah. I think I played 4 for a few days, but I didn't go back to it. Once I put it down to play something else, I never went back. I don't think I've spun it up every now and again just for bits and bobs or an achievement, or someone said there's something funny to do.
I played one of them. I played for a while, and I can't remember. It was definitely with John. It must have been Horizon 3.
The Australian one.
Yeah.
Probably that was the biggest one. John played that more than he played 4, if I remember right.
Yeah. So I played that for a little while, like, and went up with more than normal. So I put maybe 10 hours into it. And I remember, I'm sure I played with Jack, one of the guys that came to EGX with us a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
But hazy memories. You know, like when you have those memories of drunken nights years ago, and you're like, I think this happened.
Yeah.
But I don't.
I'm not sure whether someone told me this happened
Yeah.
or whether it's a genuine memory.
But I at least remember someone telling me it happened. But it's a racing game, so it doesn't sit on my to-do list for very long. But I'll always give it a shot. Same as watching a film.
Absolutely.
You can't have an opinion on a film until you've watched it. I won't have an opinion on a game until I've played it. And Horizon's always a laugh for a couple of hours.
I do like the fact that the team is nervous about their event lab mode because they've opened it up to basically include anywhere on the map, whereas I think event labs previously you could only stay on roads.
Yeah.
So now they don't know how fucking bonkers it's going to get. So I find that mildly amusing that they've done that. That's a good call.
That'd be fun because as we've all seen, you let people loose with shit, they will do crazy stuff.
Yeah. We got another look from not quite Gamescom, but Nintendo revealed a second trailer for Metroid Dread. Again, looks great. Not paying 60.
I was gonna say, how much are they charging you for it?
Not paying 60 quid for a £20 game. I'm sorry, they can go fuck themselves. Fuck, absolute rip-off that is. I mean, if someone comes out and tells me it's the fucking best thing since sliced bread, fine, I'll cave. But you know damn well that thing's going to be 60 quid for 5 years plus, and then you'll still struggle. You can't even buy bloody Breath of the Wild still for less than 50 quid.
No. And what will happen, it will drop down to 40 quid, and then the new one will get a proper release date, or it will actually come out and the price will go up because people go, oh, I want to play the first one as well. Yeah. Guaranteed. See, Blasphemous is getting a sequel.
Yeah. That's going to be fucking hard.
I didn't see that come in.
Fucking hard.
First one's brutal. I gave up with the first one.
The first one was fucking brutal. I did finish it, but it was pissing hard, mate. There's some really hard bits to that. It was just fucking mad. And it felt unfairly hard sometimes as well.
Yeah, I felt that actually when I played it. I thought, this doesn't feel like I am shit, and I know I am, but this doesn't feel like I'm shit. This feels like this is just taking the piss out of me.
Yeah, it got to a point where I was actually I'd got the hang of most of it. I don't know, something clicked at some point, but it took a long time for it to click. And then after that, it was kind of, I wouldn't say smooth sailing because there was still deaths and stuff. But I mean, for the most part, it was actually pretty good going. I've still got no fucking idea what the pissing hell was happening. So not a foggiest, mate. It was totally pissing bizarre. But actually, you know what? It was a morbid but quite fun game, so I'll probably pick up 2. Although I probably won't pick it up on the Switch this time. I'm not sure that my old man hands are good for Switch.
No, we'll talk about that a little bit later on. But yeah, no, my Switch I think is getting far less use than I expected it to.
I barely even touch it now.
Yeah,
barely even touch it.
But
I try and do it occasionally, but the difference, I'll tell you the difference between me playing Hades on the Switch to Hades on the Xbox is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm so much better at it on the Xbox than I am on the Switch.
Yeah, I can 100% agree with that. And I'm not even in your league when it comes to Hades.
No. So, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. Got another video for that. And April O'Neil is a playable character. So the internet went fucking bonkers about that, didn't it?
Of course it did.
Of course it did.
Because the internet's full of fucking retards.
Did anyone actually complain once that Blaze was in, or there was a woman in a bikini and golden axe? No one ever complained about that. What's the difference? April O'Neil, she can hit things with her camera. Fuck it, still hurt people.
I don't. People just want to cry about everything, and we all do it. I get annoyed over stupid shit. So do you. So does John. We all do it. But I'm like, is this really the fucking hill you want to die on?
I mean, does it really have to be remotely realistic? You've got 4 turtles,
fully adult-sized
which are actually
turtles,
more like tortoises than turtles, to be quite honest, wearing no clothes. They're not covering their genitals up at all. So either they've not got any, or they've got the genitals inside the shell with them, and they're carrying weapons because they've been trained by a mutant rat. I was like, where's your realism here? They're fighting just a guy with blades. Oh, for fuck's sake! And an alien from space who had his head inside the stomach of a fucking robot. I'm like, get fucked. Tosses.
Outstanding.
It's just bizarre, isn't it? It always tickled me. It's the same thing. Like, do you remember back when Daniel Craig was leaving James Bond and Idris Elba was in the running kind of with the bookies to get the job, and everyone was like, "Oh, you can't be James Bond because he's black and blah blah blah. It'd ruin the realism." And I'm just sitting there going, "You think James Bond?
Have you watched a single James Bond movie?"
Yes, super realistic. Fuck's sake.
So, did you? I hate that people report this as news. It really actually quite annoys me. But did you see the runtime has been announced for the latest Bond movie?
Why is that news?
Because it always is with films. It's always is with every Marvel film as well. The latest Marvel movie is 2 hours 13 minutes. Great, I don't care. 2 hours 47 minutes.
That's
quite
long.
I'm not sitting in a cinema watching nearly 3 hours of Bond. I don't mind Bond. I'm not a big fan, but I kind of enjoy him. I don't enjoy him enough to watch him for 3 hours in a cinema.
Can't even remember the last one I watched. I've definitely never seen any of the Daniel Craig ones.
Have you not?
No, I've not. No, never got
interesting.
around to it. I think I seen GoldenEye last, probably.
Classic.
Yeah.
But I don't mind the Daniel Craig ones. They were the ones that spawned, ironically, into the more realistic side of things after Bourne became a thing. But you're not allowed to say that to Bond fans. Don't say that to Bond fans. They get really angry with you if you say that.
That's true. That is very true.
Anyway, games. Blasphemous, Turtles. Nothing much else really from Gamescom, I don't think.
Yeah, there was loads of little bits and bobs and Steam Early Access stuff and sort of quite a few sort of, not, I don't know, maybe not quite indie, but slightly above, kind of somewhere in between.
Yeah.
Indie and big. But you know what? It's hard to tell now because even indie games look so good sometimes.
Yeah.
You don't know how they're still technically classed as. What's the difference? So if an indie game is published by, would you say it's published by themselves?
Not necessarily.
So it is an indie?
Nah, because being published is different to being developed, isn't it? So an indie developer would be, for example, Bloober Team are an independent developer. They're a big indie studio, but they're an indie studio. They're published physically by Koch Media. So they're still an indie, and they've just managed to get a publisher.
At what point do they become a non-indie, though?
I think I think it's size and money.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So, either way, there's plenty of indie-esque looking games out there.
Yeah.
That I quite like the look of, but again, it's just going to come down to when I've seen more of them.
Yeah.
To be quite honest, and there's a lot of really cool ideas out there now too. So, yeah, it should be good.
Yeah.
Bloober Team. It's the Medium, wasn't it? Bloober Team. I've heard that somewhere. But yeah, Medium.
The only other news I thought was worth maybe talking about, and it was only confirmed yesterday, is that Alan Wake is getting a remaster, an actual remaster.
Yeah, which was interesting. I'm hoping they're not just going to scale it, but obviously, if they've said it's a remaster, they rebuilt it. Surely, you'd have thought.
I'd like to think so. It's because it's 12 years old. So I think just upscaling that would make it look fucking horrible. Because it's not the prettiest game. It does very well for its tension and atmosphere. Obviously, a lot of it's dark and just you and a torch. But it's not the prettiest game.
And it could be extremely now.
Well, if they use the same, so it's Remedy, isn't it? So these are the guys that made Control and Quantum Break. So they've got access to a good engine and know how to use it. So if they can clean it up and rebuild it into whatever engine Control used, I want to say Unreal, but I might be wrong. I think it could look gorgeous and play really, really well. Mate, I'm super excited for it going on to PlayStation as well. First time Alan Wake's ever gone on to PlayStation.
Is that right?
Yeah, well, it was an Xbox exclusive. So Microsoft, even though Remedy built the game, Microsoft owned all the rights to it. So they had to buy the rights back from Microsoft.
Huh. I did not know that.
There was a news thing I can't remember if they had to buy it back or Microsoft just went, oh yeah, we're not going to renew our contract with you for it. That doesn't sound like Microsoft. I'm guessing that money was involved.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, it's never been on PlayStation.
Oh.
So yeah, I'm excited, mate, and it's a perfect excuse for me to go back to Control as well.
Yeah. Do you know what? I liked Alan Wake, but I did only play it once.
I thought it was great.
I definitely preferred I would say Quantum Leap, but Quantum Break and Control were much more up my street.
Yeah, so Quantum Break and Control had the same sentiment as Alan Wake, but without the Stephen King simulator of it all.
Yeah.
Even though, like, as we know, Control took massive Alan Wake style liberties with its game and its story. But yeah, I've been threatening. We talked about it when it happened. So I bought Control Ultimate Edition on Xbox, and then we got it for free on PlayStation. So I've got it a day later. Yeah. So I've got it installed on my PS5, and it's waiting for me to start it. At some point, I will get to it because I really want to replay it with all the DLC that I haven't touched. Because I promised myself I won't touch the DLC until it gets the PS5 Series X upgrade. So I've got all of that, and I thought, well, actually, you know what? If Alan Wake comes out, I could play Alan Wake and then go straight into Control, and then through the Control DLC as well. I was like, this may be my October, because they've said it comes out. Well, it's been suggested it comes out in October.
Yeah.
And there's nothing really, I think, that I care about coming out in October that isn't Alan Wake.
Yeah, I think October's my only dead month now until the end of the year.
I don't know what November and December hold for me. I don't think there's much. At some point, I'd like to play Battlefield, but I think that's gonna very quickly. If I don't play it day one, it's very quickly going to fall into I'm going to spend 60 quid on a game and then hate it because I'm, weeks and weeks behind everybody else online.
Yeah.
So
that's the problem with worry. What am I talking about? Yeah, that's the problem with those sort of games where you end up in lobbies with people that have had chance to get all the decent gear and shit.
Yeah, I mean, as a rule, I don't mind, but if it's online only, which the new Battlefield is, I think it will just annoy me too much, and I'll just end up not playing it, which would be a fantastic way to waste 80 quid.
Yeah. So you're not interested in what's the Call of Duty? Is that November?
Vanguard, yeah. So that one I won't be buying it because I don't like the World War II Call of Duties, but it will be a rental. Right. Will be a rental, and I'll rent it, play through it, and send it back. I won't be hanging on to that one. Yeah,
because the only thing I said I had something every month. It's not. I've just got a game to play. Because Forza H5 is obviously November at the moment, so that'll keep me going for a couple of weeks. It's not like I'm short of other games to play anyway. Let's be honest.
No, so this is This is the thing. So I've been going through the Dishonored games, so I've still got one of them to play. I've got I almost said Deathstroke. It's not Deathstroke. I've got Deathloop coming out in like a week and a half.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have a bash with that with you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure I've got anything else mega.
So I'm buying it physical, right?
You've bought it digital, ain't you? I thought.
Nope. I'm buying it physical.
Oh, then I will not be. Basically.
Had to get my limited edition steelbook, mate. It had to be done.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, I think originally you'd planned to get it digital, hadn't you?
Yes, I had originally.
Yeah, and that's why I said I was going to drop in on you.
Yeah.
Okay. It's no problem, mate. I can't see me buying it. I don't think.
I don't think.
We'll see what you say about it.
Yeah,
first.
you got to remember as well. In a year, it comes out on Game Pass for nothing.
Oh God, yeah, of course. Oh,
so this this is the thing. Is it worth spending on a game that you're going to be able to play on Xbox later on?
No. Well, maybe. Or like I said, I'll wait for you. I'll wait for your judgment on it. If you reckon it's the bee's knees, then I'm all in. But
yeah, I've looked at the trophy list for it, which is interesting. It's going to be fun.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that. But I think that's my last big one of the year. So Call of Duty will be a play once and send back. And to be perfectly honest, I've spent so much money on games. Like once Deathloop comes out, just in September, I've spent too much money on games.
I said I've got something for December as well, because obviously I'd have put Halo on that list for December, but I don't know whether I'm going to want to play it straight away. I think I'm going to need to leave it a few weeks so they can iron all the shite out of it.
Yeah, I do kind of wonder, if you would hope if they've pulled development time away from co-op, you would hope that they have, that the single player will release as perfect as you can get, or as close to perfect as you can get. I would hope so. And as much as I'm not interested in the game, I will feel fucking awful for absolutely everybody that's playing Halo a year after they expected to play it, and it turns out to be an absolute bag of shit. That would be awful.
Yeah, and the grunts and whatnot still look like shit.
Oh God, mate, can you imagine? Can you imagine?
Shit show, wouldn't it?
It really would. Oh, it'd be beautiful to watch. Like from the outside, it'd be fucking hilarious.
That is true.
I think that's all the new stuff we've got to talk about, though, isn't it? Unless there's anything pressing you fancy chatting about.
No, not really, mate. I think there just isn't a lot around again, is there?
No.
Well, there might be, actually. There might be quite a lot of stuff out there, but you have to sift through so much fucking filler now.
Yeah, well, again, we were saying this before we started recording, weren't we? So Video Game is my go-to website because, well, basically, it's the only one that only does video games. Because you go on IGN for news and it's TV and comics, and no, I don't care about any of that. And you go through the list on Video Game. It's like, NBA 2K22, new details on the City features. No. How many chapters are in Life is Strange? Mech Warrior 5 Mercenaries heads to PlayStation 5. Load of Warzone stuff. More stuff about. Here's your definitive Life is Strange True Colors track list. They're really squeezing as much as they can out of Life is Strange 3.
Wow.
Yeah, car lists for Forza Horizon, which I'm sorry, mate, I don't care about. I don't give a shit.
It's going to be a lot. Basically, just put a lot.
Yeah, all the cars will be in. There's a thing here about Battlefield 2042 developer pays tribute to late Michael K. Williams, which I read that yesterday and thought that was kind of cool because he was one of the character models in Battlefield 4, and his character is playable as a soldier in 2042. So I thought it was kind of cool that they did a little thing for him. But outside of that, it's not newsworthy, really.
No, it's definitely not.
There you go, mate. News is done.
Well, that was easy. Oh, so on to what we've been playing then. Jingle. Short pause.
It's
Fill it
the,
in there.
it's the most lackluster jingle you've done in quite some time.
Hey, I've added the short pause. Um, well, what you been playing then, John? Oh, no, he's still not. He's still being quiet. What about you then, Brooks?
Uh, I have. Let's go backwards down this list because then we can finish with one that you can talk about. So I have played the PS5 release of The Medium, which came out last week. Bloober Team and Culture Media like done a physical release for The Medium, which was until last week an Xbox Series X exclusive.
Sure was.
Uh, and I said when I played it, it was one of my favourite games of the year. It's still one of my favourite games of the year.
When you finally played it.
When I did finally play it, because yeah, that was a weird month. That
It
was
was a weird one.
it was strange. But when I finally played it, I don't know why I waited so fucking long. This game was great. So yeah, so I had the game delivered Friday. I started it at the weekend and finished it yesterday twice. Which was fun. But yeah, it's I kind of I want to say that the PS5 version is the definitive version of the game. So obviously it takes full advantage of the DualSense and the adaptive triggers and all of that lot. So yeah, the controller does everything you want it to do while you're playing, and it's super immersive. And obviously, like if you see, if you read or collect echoes, what they're called, so you can pick up items and kind of scan them, and a bit of story comes out of like a conversation that happened in the past comes out of this thing, and obviously it comes out of the PS5 controller speaker. So it just adds to the immersion a little bit. It's quite cool, but I do want to go through it again on the Xbox because I don't know if you remember this. So when I played it on the Xbox, I was taking screenshots and I sent you guys a couple.
Yeah, yeah.
And one of them was of like a pathway you walk through, and literally it's side scrolling at that point. You walk left to right down a corridor, and this corridor has just got like arms coming at you from the ceiling.
Yeah, selling it to me.
Yeah, but it's they don't touch you, they don't hurt you, they're just there. It's just part of the decor.
Yeah.
And I could have sworn when I played it on the Xbox that these hands were moving, but they weren't when I played it on the PS5. I was like, I feel like I need to go back and play it again just to see. And considering yesterday because I needed to chase one fucking trophy that I didn't get, I speed ran the game. So the game that took me 10 hours to finish first time, I think 7 hours to finish the second time, I ran through the entire thing in just short of 2 hours.
Which is pretty impressive.
Yeah, and I'm tempted to play it again and actually like set a timer going and see how quick I can do it, like not having to hunt around for collectibles as well. Because I reckon I could do that in about an hour and 45, which I'd be interested to see if I could do, but not right now because I don't want to burn out on it. But yeah, anyway, so I want to jump onto the Xbox and I want to play through it again just to see if I'm right. Luckily, I have said that I'm going to make it my choice of game for December, so you two can play it because you keep telling me you want to play it, so I'm going to force you to play it.
Yep. I'm okay with that, to be fair. Medium, it just looks really good.
But to be fair, and I said this at the time, and I'll say it again, it's a horror game, but it's not scary. There's one jump, and that's it. That's it. After that, it's just eerie music and atmosphere. But there's no scares at all. I genuinely think you'll be fine with it.
Well, I
But
am an adult.
well, yeah, you are. But you know,
Occasionally.
I'll also have a backup plan just in case you genuinely can't deal with it. But yeah, and it'll give me an excuse to play through it again as well, and I'll run through it on the Xbox just to see that one bit because I'm curious. But assuming it's the same, I would call the Medium the PS5 version the definitive version of the game. It is, it looks gorgeous, the music is great, the story is fantastic, and yeah, it's just a super fun way to spend 8 hours.
Yeah. Did the Xbox get a Series X upgrade for it as well, or is?
Well, it's a Series X exclusive.
Oh, that's right. It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, so it was always so it got a physical release on Series X as well. Finally, so the physical release across the board, so for PC, for PlayStation, and for Xbox, that's they've all been published by Koch Media instead of self-publishing, I suppose, or being published by Microsoft on Game Pass. But yeah, the game was always a Series X game, or Xbox Series game, because you could play it on the Series S as well. But yeah, like I say, it looks great, and I was super impressed with it. I was super impressed with how well it played, and I will definitely play it again before the year's out.
Yep.
Before that, I got my platinum on Dishonored 2, which was fun. My current challenge, just to finish and 100%. Well, no, platinum, not 100%, because fuck the Dunwall City Trials. But yeah, to platinum all the Arcane games that I loved. So basically, just as an excuse to replay the Dishonored series. So I've done 1, and now I've done 2, which took 3 playthroughs just because of the way I played it.
Can you do it in less than 3 then?
You can, but it can be a bit of a pain. You could technically. So there's a trophy for finishing the game without using magic. So you've played Dishonored 2, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah, so when you first meet the outsider in Dishonored 2, the guy that gives you all your powers, you actually have the option to tell him, no, I don't want to do that. So you have to do that to platinum it. But you also have to do a clean hands playthrough, so don't be seen, don't kill anybody, no alerts, all of that shit, and you have to do a high chaos, kill everybody, blah, 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 blah. So you can do it now that there's a new game plus, which it didn't have when it first came out. So I can, for example, play the game as Emily, don't take the magic, stealth my way through the entire game, which will take quite a while because no magic. So there's a lot of sneaking around at ground level, which can be a pain in the balls. And you could do that, and then when you do New Game Plus, you can then choose, or you don't choose, they're there for you to upgrade if you want. When you play as Corvo, you have all of Corvo's powers plus all of Emily's to choose from. And any runes you picked up in your previous playthrough come over with you. So if you picked up 20 runes, you then start the game with 20 runes. So you can do all of the kills and things that require specific powers, you can do no matter who you're playing as. So it is possible to do it in 2. It just seemed like a really painful way of doing it. So I thought, I'm going to have more fun. I played through once High Chaos with Emily and got got most of the Emily-centric trophies. Then played through Clean Hands with Corvo, and any things that were specific to Corvo, do a save, do your kill, get your trophy, reload your save, so you've still done it with no kills. Yay to save scumming. But it meant that my third playthrough again, so this Dishonored 2 a run takes about 8 hours, I suppose. And my no magic run, I think, was about 3.5. Because it was literally run in, run to place, kill person, run off. I did the bare minimum and did it as fast as I possibly could because all I had was a sword and a gun. So it was easier to just run in, kill everybody, and run through. because I didn't need to do it with no detection. All I had to do was do it without any magic, which I was doing by default. So yeah, 3 playthroughs. The third one, just a quick, again, speedy run. Good fun though, really enjoyed it. And today I started Death of the Outsider, and as I was playing through it, I was going, I don't remember any of this. I don't remember the story. I don't remember this place. So I'm like, I'm basically playing it fresh. So I'm really quite looking forward to it. So I'll take my time through it and check everything. So I will try and platinum it before Deathloop comes out, but I'm not gonna rush. I want to enjoy it and savor it a bit.
Yeah, well, I like Death of the Outsider, but I would probably fall foul of the same issue, is that I can't remember anything that I did in it.
No, this
but
is the
I
thing.
did do it.
I played through it once, and I've said this before on the podcast. I played through it once and sped through it just to see the end of the story, because I was writing a review for it, and the review needed to be out in reasonable time. But actually, and it's the last game review I wrote, because I don't do it anymore, because I don't want to rush through games. I don't get games early to write reviews for, so I have to buy them on the day and then play them, and essentially ruin my experience just so I can see the ending. And I didn't like that at all. The review came out shit. I was positive about the game, but I didn't like the review. I didn't like my experience playing the game like that, so I don't do it anymore. So this way, I'm just going to sit and I'm going to enjoy.
Good call.
And finally, because it's just permanently installed, and when I want to play something for 20 minutes and not think about it, I've done a few runs on Hades.
Wow, who can blame you?
Well, it's a shitload of fun. I really, really love this game, and I think I prefer it on the PlayStation over the Switch by quite a margin.
Yeah.
I think it plays better. I think I'm better at it.
It's on a bigger TV.
It's on a bigger TV. That helps a lot, especially with an old man like me. It's a really good game. It always was a really good game, but I think now I've got it on the PlayStation. I think that's where it belongs. It looks fantastic. It plays butter smooth. I think it's really, really good. And I think that was for me, that was proven when on like run 7 or 8 where I haven't been doing very well. I managed to clear 2 biomes in one go. The second biome, I managed to clear the boss without even thinking about it. I knew what he was because I'd seen him when I played it on the Switch, but the first time I saw him on PlayStation, I just blew through him with not very many hit points, because I took a boon that reduced my hit points down to 40%. Whoops.
Yeah. He doesn't catch me out very often, to be fair. That second boss.
No.
Not anymore. Even with the upgrade, because once you finish the game for the first time, you can get the Pact of Punishment and make everything harder for yourself. You can upgrade the bosses, and even with the upgrade, he's not a hell of a lot harder. You've just got sort of less room.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit more aggressive, but and a little bit more annoying. But other than that, it's still the same boss essentially, whereas the others changed quite a bit.
Yeah.
I've been playing it too, and I've 1000 G'd it.
Which is
I couldn't help myself. I had to keep playing and doing it.
There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing. I mean, if I was better at it, I would probably have a go. But that's not something that's in my future, like, at all. Like that will never happen.
It's a long. To be fair, if you can finish it and get to a point, obviously it gets easier the more darkness you get.
Yeah.
Once you've upgraded your mirror, it's significantly easier. And then when you start getting the better boons and learning which ones unlock others, because obviously there's paths to unlocking other boons.
Yeah.
So like if you choose, so Zeus is my favourite for sheer power. Zeus and Artemis together have some, the duo boon that they have is just fucking unreal. And basically whenever you're magic crystals are sat on the floor, they electrocute all the enemies nearby.
Oh wow,
So
that's
you
pretty
literally
badass.
just and it's a bolt of lightning as well. So if you pick up all of if you upgrade all of your other stuff with Zeus as well,
Yeah,
and you get to a point where basically you get a bolt of lightning from your. I either choose. I normally choose a special because that's a bolt of lightning rather than a lightning attack.
yeah,
So that's a bolt of lightning, and then you get the upgrade for a 25% chance or more of a secondary bolt of lightning, and then you get the upgrade for a widened area of effect on that bolt of lightning, and then you get that duo boon as well, which basically it just fucking you can just stand there and things just die. Literally, I've beat the last boss by not hitting him. I've just used that just to
wow.
see if I could do it, and he fucking trashed him. Yeah. So yeah, a lot of fun. You can have a lot of fun once you figure out the paths, because once you've unlocked everything, you can see everything in your book,
Yeah,
the paths that you need to go through to unlock certain things, and you get a real sort of knowledge for it. You know which ones are going to work better for your playstyle. But sometimes I'll go out of my way to choose something that's not my playstyle just to make sure I get a later boon,
yeah,
which is 10 times better and definitely what I'm looking for.
yeah,
I mean, because some of the ones you can get for Ares are very similar in the same, in the same vein of what I just said about Zeus. Is that the Ares one you can get the one where it turns you into a big blade,
yeah,
and like you sort of it spins around on the spot. But you can increase the size of that, and then you can draw enemies into it, and you can chase the enemies, and then you can do one every time you dodge. You can do one,
bloody
and you
hell.
can fire them as you cast as well. So you can fire out four as you or three or four as you cast, and then you can dodge around, and then they all home in on the enemies and suck the enemies in. Yeah, you can get some real dirty, quick playthroughs. But my best time at the minute on my Xbox, actually, I think is slightly longer. I think I had a better one on my Switch. I think my best one on my Switch was about 18 minutes.
Bloody hell.
On Xbox, it's 21 at the moment, I think. But
Jesus.
I average somewhere. It's always between 20 minutes and half an hour now.
Yeah.
I don't know how it tracks the time. I don't know whether that's a total time across the whole playthrough, including without stoppages or what. But
Yeah.
I know I put on this one of the Pact of Punishment things is you've got 9 minutes per floor.
Really?
And I pissed that in about 15 minutes left at the end. So normally when I'm doing the Pact of Punishment now and I need a certain number, I
Yeah.
always choose that one because it's a doddle. That's an easy one to do. I've done it. I think the best one I did it on was like level 3, and I think you get 5 minutes per floor, that is tough.
Yeah.
But I didn't finish that one. I don't think. I think I died actually on that one rather than actually running out of time. But yeah, I've had a blast of 3.5 days of playtime.
Jesus.
70 some hours.
It is a great game though. Like, if there weren't other things I was playing, I would easily be able to go. Okay, game time. I'm just going to sit on Hades for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think my game time's very long. I think I've only done like 12 runs or something so far, but I'm not very good at it, which doesn't help. But it is such a fucking superb game. And what was really cool actually is I was playing it the other day. I'd got myself set up in my little perch in front of my TV, and I was going at it. And Nikita came in from the park, and she sat on the sofa next to me, and she started telling me about all the stuff that she's done because she's borrowed my Switch cart for Hades, and she's been playing it up in her room, and she's like, "Yeah, this is Aphrodite, and this one's Zeus, and this one." I was like, "Fucking hell, woman!" All right, bless her. And she's like, "Yeah, I really like Meg, but she's really hard." Well, yeah, she is. She's fucking hard on the Switch. I can't beat her on the Switch at all.
Piece of piss.
For you, not for me.
Meg's the easiest one. The middle sister's the hardest, I think.
Okay.
Oh wait, I'm guessing you've not met the others.
Mm-mm.
Well, I won't say any more then.
So on my best run so far, I beat Meg, and then I beat the Biome 2 boss, and I got a bit cocky, and I walked into a fight with the Minotaur and got my
Mid-level.
my ass handed to me. Although next time I see it, I've now got obviously I've got my Death Defy, and I've got one of the gifts I think I got from, it might have been from Skelly. Also gives me a Death Defy, so I've technically got 2 if I'm wearing that.
Yeah, and you don't need too much more darkness now from where you are, and you can walk in with 4.
Yeah.
And when you get to that point, it's significantly easier.
Oh yeah, of course.
I don't use the Skelly one because normally 1 Death Defy is enough.
Yeah.
Generally, if I find that I'm in a position where I'm struggling, I'll put Athena's one on, and I'll summon Athena, and then she always, at least if you've lost a Death Defy by the time you get to summon her, she genuinely gives you one back.
Nice.
With bone, because a couple of her boons are like, one of them is, I think, one you have increased defense after Death Defiance, and one you have increased something else after Death Defiance, and it restores one of them.
Nice.
So that's super handy. And then there's a guy on the third map that you may bump into occasionally, and he restores all of your Death Defiance.
Oh, nice.
So if you've got 3 and you've lost 3 by that point, he restores all 3, which is super handy.
That would be kind of cool and very helpful.
Yeah. But you have to it's I don't know whether it's randoms well, no, it is. I presume it is random because it's random based rooms.
Yeah.
So where you got Asterius that time in the mid-level fight,
yeah,
sometimes you'll get this guy instead.
Nice. Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
But I'm enjoying it, and the thing is, like, at no point, and it's a bit like the Returnal thing. At no point am I annoyed at the fact that I've died. I'm quite happy to start again and do it again because I'm enjoying the story and I'm enjoying the game, and I think that's what it's got. That's what it's really got going for it. Although I would really appreciate it if PlayStation stopped realising that I keep playing Hades and stop suggesting other roguelike games to me, because I'm not one. Fuck off.
The only advice I can give you really is move your dash button to a trigger.
Interesting.
Because basically I dash constantly. It's basically all I do. It's dash strike. It's generally one of the most powerful moves you've got. Even more so when you've got the close range weapons. Their dash strikes are particularly powerful in comparison to the sort of ranged weapons.
Yeah.
I moved dash to left trigger, and I found it 10 times easier.
Interesting. I might have a badge because that worked for me on Returnal.
Yeah.
Moving my dash, and I moved something else as well to my triggers, which meant I never had to take my fingers off of the face buttons to do stuff.
Exactly, and playing at that sort of speed as well, particularly in Hades, you would, sometimes if I've upgraded the dash strike so much, I can barely even see myself. I'm not looking where I'm going. I'm just dashing, because generally, unless you sort of land out of a dash into something, as in an enemy attack, there's not a lot that can get you, because even traps and stuff like that, if you land on it and then dash straight off it, it don't get you.
No.
So it's really only if you dash into an enemy attack, which generally you dash away from. So
yeah,
dash. That's my advice. There you go.
We'll revisit this in 2 weeks and see how I got on.
Yeah, good idea.
What else you been playing then, dude?
So I finished Hades, and then I moved on to a game called Raji and the something or other. The ancient. Oh, bear with me. An ancient epic. That's I remember it being a mouthful. An ancient epic. So it's a puzzle platformer.
Okay.
It's got a very Prince of Persia vibe to it.
It does look a bit Prince of Persia looking at some of these screenshots.
It's based in Now, I'm not entirely sure about this. It's definitely Indian mythology, but it feels like it's partially, it's mostly Hindu,
Okay, yeah.
but it's got there's a bit of Sikh feeling to it. Although I know they've not got any gods specifically. I don't know. It's kind of a cross between the two. It's like Indian mythology, but mostly Hindu.
Okay.
Um, and so the story's told to you by Durga and don't think it's Shiva. I think it's another one. But Shiva's definitely in it a lot.
I mean, I've got it in front of me if you want me to remind you.
Yes.
Vishnu.
Ah, that's it, Vishnu. Yeah. So I mean, there's those guys are the ones that are taking you through and sort of talking to you, and basically, I mean, the story premise is very simple, but it didn't need to be overly complex for the game type that it was. It was enjoyable. It was short-ish. Combat was okay. I mean, it's nothing to blow home about. I found it slightly unbalanced.
Yeah.
At the start, it was hard, and you had the first weapon for a long time before you got your first power, and then you had the first weapon and first power for a long time before you got anything else. Then you got your second.
I said you just get overloaded like towards the back
end
of the game.
Yeah, basically. You get your second weapon and then a little bit closer in time you get your second power. And then it seemed like ages again. And then I got the third weapon, which was brilliant. And the third power came what felt like about 5 minutes from the end. But it was so fucking OP as well.
This is a infamous second son syndrome.
Yeah, pretty much. But then you got another weapon right before the last boss, which was just utterly bizarre. And I get it because it tracks story-wise, but it was just a bit odd getting to learn a new weapon or trying to learn a new weapon right before the last boss and on the last boss.
Brilliant.
Which was good. So all the way up until the last boss, I actually really enjoyed it.
Okay.
The last boss was annoying, but the ending was just fucking crackers. And ruined the game a little bit, I think. Well, just left me with a bit of a sour taste in my mouth afterwards, thinking, well, really? So, I don't know. It's not exactly sequel bait, I wouldn't say, but I don't know. It's just, yeah. The ending is disappointing, but the rest of the game is definitely worth a play. And it's on Game Pass too.
Yeah, well, you mentioned it to me or to us the other day, and I straight away was like, I'm into that. Using stuff like that as a basis for a story is 100% my jam.
Yeah. So, well, there's what sits throughout the game as well. Whenever you're coming up to a new area or something like that, there's quite a lot of sort of emblems and things on the walls and pictures, paintings, and you go that, and Vishnu and Durga talk to you about what that painting means and what it is, and it's really quite interesting how they've done it. I can't hear Durga half the time because his voice is very low, and but yeah, it was good. It's definitely worth a play, and I mean, it was probably 8 hours tops.
Nice.
I wouldn't even say it was that long. I've not looked, to be honest, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't that long. And that left me with yesterday and the day before as with a game to play. But I popped to the cinema last night, so it really just was Monday when I started Brutal Legend again, the old 360 game.
I do like Brutal Legend.
Yeah,
it's
and it
not
came
without
up
its problems, but it's
no, of course not. Was it gold? I can't remember. I think it was a gold game a couple of months back.
I think it was, yeah, because I remember us both looking at it going, "Oh, that'd be really good to replay."
Yeah, it's not.
No. Oh.
Soundtrack is still dope, and Jack Black and the story, everything about that is still good. But the gameplay is still fucking terrible. They should have it should have just been a hack and slash.
Yeah.
A linear hack and slash all the way through with the story. That's what it should have been. didn't need the car, didn't need
No,
the open world, it didn't need that fucking tower defense garbage.
no.
Because even on easy, that tower defense is fucking rubbish and hard for someone that doesn't care for tower defense games. Yeah, so that's where we are. I've just got to the bit where I've met Lemmy and he's healed me missus.
The Killmaster.
The Killmaster, yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
And obviously, the god of the underworld or whatever his name is Ozzy, and that always tickles me as well. But I don't think I got much further than this in the story before. I think what I did before was just go driving around collecting everything.
Yeah.
Whereas now I'm just not going to do that.
No.
I'm just gonna go through and try and get the story done without collecting a load of shit.
Yeah.
The thing is, collecting shit gives you power-ups, and I'm like, you need to do a bit just to keep ahead of the game.
Yeah.
But I don't know, we'll see. I'm still enjoying it at the moment, and I still want to play it at the moment, but I just wish it was better. I still wish it didn't. Do you know what? Even the open world in the car I can deal with, because the music makes sense for the car.
Yeah.
If I could just get rid of that tower defense, I'd be like, yes, this is the game. And that would have sold amazing and got a sequel.
Yeah, so Double Fine always said they were going to do a sequel, didn't they? And then just never did. Or didn't it get cancelled?
I can't remember.
I'm sure they said they were going to do it, and they started on it, and then it got cancelled. I don't know.
And lastly, I started the War for Wakanda DLC.
Oh, for Avengers?
Expansion for Avengers.
Is it any good?
Mm.
That's pretty much how I expected you to react, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm so disappointed with that game.
Just more of the same boring...
The story's... It seems like the story's really good, and they've put a lot of thought into the characters, and they're really well built and everything, and the interactions are great, but the game is just so fucking dull. It's just the same shit. Like, I don't... Like, it's basically a hack and slash game where you're not really hack and slashing the enemies. Because a lot of them don't have any flinching. And they'll just carry on hitting you. Fucking you're in the mid combo and they'll just hit you out of nowhere. Or you'll get swarmed by like 30 enemies. But you've got no specials and you've got no area of effect moves. And it's overly difficult, particularly when you first start any of the expansions, because you've got no gear.
Yeah.
And it's just like, man, this game could have been fucking brilliant as well. If they just stripped this garbage out of it and just made them genuine, these stories and single player missions, it'd have been fucking brilliant. And it probably would have sold better as well.
I've got it for free last month on PS Plus, and mate, I still can't be fucking bothered.
Yeah.
I can't be asked. I've got no, and I really wanted to get it in, just so I could like play it with you, because I know it's your, the Marvel's thing's your thing. We could have a bash for it. It'd be a laugh.
Oh, hell yeah! I'll come through the story with you again. But I mean, I
can't be fucking bothered.
It's the difficulty thing. Like, you put it on the lowest difficulty, and it's still difficult. That's the wrong way of putting it. It's definitely not difficult, but I don't want to be spamming combos on the same enemy for half an hour.
No.
Kill them. That's not what... I can get it. I can deal with that when it comes to shooting games and bullet sponges, because it's, you kind of expect that, and they've been the trope for years. But hack and slash games, no, because it's complex. You're using all your fucking thumbs and shit, and it's just bollocks.
When you walk into a mid-level on that Darksiders on a above average difficulty, and it's like, this is the only shit that works over and over and over. Yeah, I get what you mean completely.
But I mean, so far, story-wise, yeah, pretty good. So far. And that's me, mate.
No more, just the two of us, or whatever it was called.
Oh no, fucking! I think me and Phil have got a date night coming Friday. He asked me round for beers, and then he suggested, "Oh, we could play It Takes Two," and I was like, "Yeah, let's play that, mate. Because I can stay at home, and then we can get the fucker done."
Yeah, I can bring my own beer.
Yeah, we won't get it done because he'll either be late or he'll go to bed early because he's a pillock. But
Hi,
yeah,
Phil, if you're listening.
Yeah, he won't be listening. He's not listened to one for ages, cheeky cunt.
Oh, fuck you then, Phil, because you're not listening.
Well, no, his excuse to me the other day was that he doesn't want to miss any, so he needs to catch up, but he's not had time to catch up because he's been listening to Audible, so he's about 6 or 7 behind or something like that. I was like, well, just listen to the newest one. And carry on from there.
We're not a serial. You don't need,
Yeah.
don't need to. There's not an underlying story you're going to lose.
Well, there was a little one with John's absence,
Well,
obviously.
yeah.
But, you know, the excuses in the story changes each time he's absent. To be fair.
I don't, mate. I feel awful because we've all had times where we've gone, yeah, we can't make today, so can we do it like Thursday? I'm like, oh, shit, poor old John's gone, oh, I can't do it because I'm not here. I'm like, well, can't move it a week because it fucks everything up.
Ah, it's cool. It don't really matter, does it?
Nah, of course not.
I don't mind hosting either, to be fair.
Nah, bit of fun. Still get to shoot the shit. It's all good, mate. It's all good.
Yeah. And a nice short one for the listeners.
Yeah, be about an hour and 15, I think, by the time I've chopped everything out.
That was a pretty good time, I reckon.
Yeah.
Just double play some of the jingles. Put some pre-recorded John filler in there.
I'm sure I can find some.
Right, okay, so so where can everyone find you?
Come find me on Twitter. It's pretty much the only place to find me. I'm at Brooker411.
Cool. And I am Pyro Loveridge pretty much anywhere. But as a group, we are Carrying to Unlock also pretty much everywhere, but mostly Twitter.
Yeah.
Because that's the easiest for us old men.
Well,
we can dump it and leave it.
I say this every time. I completely forget that we have an Instagram. I have the Instagram loaded on my phone, but I never use it. I barely use my own Instagram.
Yeah. I don't know either, to be fair. It's not my jam.
I forget it's a thing, but the thing I've got mates that only use Instagram, so that's pretty much the only social media of mine they see. Oh, let's post something so they don't think I'm dead. But
That's true.
But yeah, we have an Instagram, we have Facebook, which I don't use for anything except for sharing the episodes because, well, I don't want to fucking talk to people on Facebook at the best of times. I definitely don't want to do it for the podcast.
Nope. No. And yeah, that's everything.
I think it is, mate.
All right, outro jingle. Pause for effect. Say goodnight, all.
Good night, buddy.
Good night.